Good evening and welcome to the regular business meeting of the Commission on Police Practices as well as the Ad Hoc Personnel Committee joint meeting. And we will begin now at 4:41. And I want to welcome everyone as well as our new commissioners, Commissioner John Armentrout and Commissioner Ada Rodriguez. Welcome. We're so happy to have you aboard. We'll hear from you at another meeting. We're trying to move this one along because we have a lot of business, so we will get a little bit of background. So I would also like to move to change the agenda order so that the closed session is moved to item 6. And okay, second from First Vice Chair Brown. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. Everyone, we're moving the closed session earlier. Okay, roll call, Ms. Condi.
Thank you. Okay, I will do the, I'll begin the roll call of the commission. So we have Chair Gloria Tran. Here. Oh, can you hear me? No, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. No, it's me. Can you hear me better? Yeah, okay, perfect. So Chair Gloria Tran. Here. Thank you. First Vice Chair Dennis Brown.
Here.
Second Vice Chair Doug Case.
Here.
Octavio Aguilar. I believe he stated that he's running a little bit late. John Armentrout.
Here.
Thank you. Layla Aziz. Are we considering that as absent? Bonnie Benitez. Excuse. Thank you. Alec Byer.
Here.
Thank you. Cheryl Canson is on her way. Thank you. Lupe Diaz. Here. Thank you. Armando Flores is not here. Should be on his way. Thank you. Christina Griffin Jones. On her way. Thank you. Dwayne Harvey.
Here.
Thank you. Brandon Hilbert is excused. James Justice.
Here.
Thank you. Darlan Molnat.
Here.
Thank you. Clovis Honore.
Here.
Dennis Larkin is on his way. Ada Rodriguez. Here. Thank you. And Ivania Rubio.
She's on her way.
Awesome. On her way. Thank you so much. So that concludes that roll call, and I'll take the second roll call of the evening for the Ad Hoc Personnel Committee. So we have Committee Chair Dennis Brown.
Here.
Darlan Molnat.
Here.
James Justice.
Here.
And Clovis Honore. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Condi. And I do hear that there's a bad accident coming south on the 15th, so that may be a problem and may have delayed some of our commissioners. Okay, now we want to look at the approval of the minutes. We tabled the February 7th minutes. Is there any? Yes.
I'm sorry, going back to the roll call. Explain to the public or public consumption why we have to roll call.
No, we can do that right now. So the City Council has formed a ad hoc personnel committee for the hiring of the executive director. 4 of our commissioners are on that committee, so them being here creates a quorum. So we're having a joint meeting and they're all here. We will not discuss it. However, because they are all here, we have to have an open meeting and so we don't violate the Brown Act. Thank you, Commissioner Honore. All right, so moving ahead to the regular meeting minutes, February 7th. Everyone got them, and it was just a small change on why the speakers did not choose to have the ADL. Yes. Okay, you have a microphone, please.
My one little picky thing is I noticed on new business, item A4, the motion lists out people absent, but you left me out. My name's not on the list.
Thank you. Okay, we will.
Thank you.
Is this on
new business, the commissioner emails? The motion was item number 4, so A. So what's that? 8A4, and then it lists all the voting, and then it just says absent. It doesn't say absence / excuse like the other item did earlier. I don't know if you want to add that, but
yes, we will. Thank you. We'll look at it. Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to accept those minutes as amended? Okay, Commissioner Justice, thank you. A second? Commissioner Armand Trout. All those any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Now the February 21st meeting, any changes to that meeting minutes? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as printed? Okay, Commissioner Justice, a second. Commissioner Harvey, any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. All those opposed? Abstentions? We have one abstention from Commissioner Honore. Okay, moving forward now. We will move on, non-agenda public item. Chief Investigator Golub, do we have any public comment?
We don't have any in-person public comment. For those who are joining us virtually, please raise your hand now if you wish to speak on a non-agenda public comment. We do not have any public comment.
Thank you, Chief Investigator Golub. Okay, now we are going to move into our closed session. Prior to that, do we have any public comment about our closed session where we will review cases? Any public comment?
We do not have any in-person public comment on the closed session. For those who are joining us virtually, if you wish to speak on the closed session public comment, please raise your hand now. We do not have any public comment on the closed session.
Okay, then thank you, Chief Investigator Golub. Now we will have outside counsel, Mr. Bennett, lead us into closed session.
Good evening, Commissioners and Honorable Chair. There'll be a recommended closed session to discuss cases pursuant to Government Code Section 54.957. These are confidential matters under Penal Code Sections 832.5 through 832.8. There'll be a recommended closed session to discuss those cases.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. I need to close the hearing right now. So if we can please proceed to do that. We should be opening it up around 5:30, 5:35, and the community hearing will start promptly at 6 o'clock. We hope you come back, and we apologize for sending you out in the rain. Thank you. We're closing the session now. Bennett to lead us out of closed session.
Okay, good evening, council. Council. Commission may be closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54.957 to discuss cases that are protected pursuant to Penal Code Sections 832.5 through 832.8. The commission deliberated, gave direction. There is no reportable action. That will conclude my closed session report.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Now we move on to the draft bylaws. Co-Chair Byer, thank you again for taking on this project. And did you have anything to introduce the bylaws? That you have comments from?
I was going to say that we really want to get this done. It's supposed to be done in January. There's some bumps, and now we're here with the proposed draft. Thank you to Commissioner Malmet, who made some good observations, recommendations, which we did incorporate. And Commissioner Armentrout pointed out that one of the sections, the section on ethics, binds us to the National Association for Civilian Law Enforcement Oversight. It doesn't include our own because we had not drafted our own. So I'm going to add that we're bound by our own code of ethics as well as the NACO code of ethics.
Presenting that.
And then you were going to add some
The conflict of interest form. The conflict of interest form. But before we have more discussion,
We do not have any in-person public comment on the bylaws. For those who join us virtually, we actually don't have anybody joining us virtually, so no public comment.
thank you. Now we can discuss it. Yes, I would like to add, and it kind of goes with what Commissioner Armentrout said, our code of ethics, which we will have at some point because we're in the foundation building portion of this commission. But at this point, we also had a code of, a conflict of interest form that I would like to add a paragraph about if there's a conflict of interest. And that would be on page.
I think it's page 7.
exactly, page 7, probably, obviously under ethical conduct, add a paragraph or a sentence about conflict of interest form if there's a conflict of interest. So I would like to add something like that. Any more discussion on these bylaws? Commissioner Honore. Ms. Condi, can you
No.
see if there's any?
There isn't, I think they should be able, it's a straight shot into, I don't have a waiting room set up on this one.
Come back, please let us know, and we'll let them know. Thank you. Okay, any more comments on the draft bylaws? Is there a motion then to accept the draft bylaws as with the recommended amendments that we can email to Commissioner Byer? I would also like to add that the staff has volunteered to look at it from just a grammar punctuation type, just to clean it up. So I would like to add that as an amendment as well. So is there anyone who would like to make a motion? Commissioner Justice. Commissioner Justice moves that we accept the draft bylaws as with the recommended amendments. Is there a second? Commissioner Armand Trout seconded. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? In favor? Okay. Abstentions? Okay, it passes. So we will send out the final once we add the amendments that we just approved. Please email, Commissioner Malmont, will you please email it to Commissioner Byer and Commissioner Armentrout, or did you already discuss with him what you wanted to change? Okay, and do you want me to email you a paragraph about the code of conflict of interest form? Okay, and then we will have it cleaned up and we'll have our final bylaws. Thank you all. So right now, we're not going back and close. I didn't realize it would take this short. So we will take a quick break, grab something to eat. We're going to go into break and wait for 6 o'clock until the community hearing. Actually, since we have a little bit of time, do our new commissioners want to share a little bit about themselves? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to start over here. I'm going to try to go alphabetical, although I'm not great at this. Commissioner John Armentrout, would you please introduce yourself?
All right, good evening, John Armentrout. 21 years active duty in the Navy, 15 years federal government service after that. Background is in cybersecurity engineering. My community involvement is my husband and I have adopted 2 kids out of foster care. And we're very involved with kids who age out of the system and what happens to them. And there's an organization called Just in Time for Foster Youth that we work with. I'm on the board there, and that's my real passion in the community. And so that's a little bit of my background about what drew me into this. And I look forward to learning more about pretext, which is a huge issue with former foster youth and how their rate of incarceration. And I'll just leave it at that till I learn more about what that means. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Commissioner Flores.
Hey everyone, my name is Armando Flores. Oh, it's all right. Is that better? So I'm Armando Flores. I grew up here in San Diego, went to Kearney High School, went to San Diego State. I worked for a tech company for the past 10 years here locally, ran their volunteer program for 5 years. They're one of the biggest tech companies here in the city. And so I've got an experience with the deaf community, the blind community. I've worked with a variety of communities all over San Diego. And I've been able to work with the zoo, thankfully, for 4 years as a volunteer in innovation, working with conservation of a variety of animals. And so I like to bring my experience and help however I can with what we have here in the city, and I love to make an impact however possible. I hope so.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Hi, I'm Ada Rodriguez. I am originally from the Bronx, New York, but I am a San Diegan for the past 11 years. I love it here. My background, I served in the Navy. I also was a DoD contractor as military operations auditor. And now I work in the utility industry as an engineer, quality assurance engineer. So a very broad background. I'm happy to be here. For the community, I'm also a court-appointed special advocate for Voices for Children. And I love it. And I'm happy to be here. I think I could bring a lot to the table. And yeah.
Thank you, and we're happy to have you. Welcome again to all of our new commissioners and to some faces we haven't seen in a while from vacations and just being busy. So, all right, we'll take a short break, grab some dinner if you haven't, and then we will get back together about 5 to 6, and we will carry on with the community hearing. So thank you.